Peace, Israel. It's Brother Yaquab from the Camp Props in Babylon Camp down here in Tampa, Florida. Let's give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who do indeed teach and will well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. In today's lesson, as you see, the brother Tazapanya 144, on Instagram, he posted these videos of two bald eagles fighting in midair, and then they fell out the sky and both got struck by a car, which is it's symbolic really for the future of America, man. Because America's prideful animal, and they're animal to represent themselves as the bald eagle, the high and mighty and high flying bird, a very powerful bird, and that's what America represents itself as. Okay, you have. Let me go in and grab this. If a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, right? The American people, they're divided against themselves, man. A lot of these American people, they're literally separated. You have to the Republican and the Democratic Party. Okay, so Americans on both sides, they're all separated within that. Okay, which is really just two wings to the same bird. Okay, you still worshiping Esau. You still putting a devil over you, man. All right, so if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. It's going to fall and break down from the inside. Okay, that right there is just showing you. It's 4:14 right now, so 144. Call Halal Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's a spiritual video, because that literally shows really how the foreshadow of America going down. Okay, and I want to grab this. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So like we was just going into, these heathens, it's like not heathens, but these Edomites, these American people, and really the American military, the government, all right, they exalt themselves as the eagle, the high flying bird, the highest flying bird, high and mighty. Nothing really can take down an eagle. As you see, the eagle fought itself, which goes really back into the Mark chapter 3. The eagle fought another eagle, and they both end up dying, man. So these people are gonna fight themselves. They're gonna go against one another, and it's gonna cause this place to fall. Same thing with the government and America's allies. All right, America's allies are literally going to turn against America. So it says, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. The Lord is going to bring you down, man. You also had the scripture that said Esau will build, but I will throw down. All right, Esau's building up all these cities, these different things, with the tariffs that Trump is doing. Trump is trying to bring more money into America, but that's causing him to lose allies, and it's also causing the American people to struggle and to fail. So he's trying to build, but as Esau's trying to physically build, hey, the Lord is throwing down through the spirit and physically, man. Things are going left quick, fast, and in a hurry. So these devils, they're panicking. They're really trying to get things in order. But, back into it, let me grab this. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay, so you got a lot of these American people thinking that everything is all good. All right, because you can still afford a meal. You can still go to the grocery store and shop, and then actually be able to put gas in your car. You can still do quite a bit of these things that you want to do. Okay, but even then, the evils are growing up on this earth, man. All right, famine is coming. It's growing, and it's gonna hit. When it hit, it's gonna hit hard. Okay, it's gonna get hit very hard. It says, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Instant destruction, man. It's gonna be one day you go in the store, a carton of a dozen eggs are $250. Outrageous, because you got inflation, then you have hyperinflation. See, what these Americans are going through now is inflation. Money. It's like, damn, okay, this is expensive, that's expensive, but it's still tolerable. I can afford it. But when hyperinflation kicks in, you got that movie Civil War. I believe the lady was trying to buy a sandwich or something like that. I think she said she had $500 or something like that, or $300, and he said, I can buy you a sandwich. And then she was like, oh no, Canadian. You know, which also just goes to show that the American dollar is not going to be worth nothing in that day. You know, the American dollar is not going to be worth nothing in that day. In Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 19, it says, well, let me grab it. So I get Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 19. It says, thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy power, and that my fear is not in thee, except the Lord Yahweh of hosts. All right, thy own wickedness shall correct thee, which was really the point. Their wickedness is going to correct them, man. These Edomites are going to understand that they're not above Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And the Lord spake of these things, you know. This devil exalts himself as if he is the Lord, like he's on the throne. He's just so high and mighty, but the Lord is going to throw him down. And his and through Esau's wickedness, he's going to go through that slavery, and he's going to really understand that he went off. And it's really not Esau. You know, the Lord is doing it. The Lord is using Esau for his will. Okay? But Esau, you know, these devils, they can't control it. You know, they were built like that. They were built to just be wicked. They were built to fulfill the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They were built to fulfill what the Lord created them to do. You know, it says, and I want to grab this too, that was touching up on it. It says, two bald eagles were fighting in midair, then struck by a car dead. You know, it's not nature. That's really prophecy. It says, two American bald eagles, Esau's own national symbol, locked in a death match, only to fall and get hit by a car. That's spiritual. That's judgment. That's a parable from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, in your face. That's the Lord showing you that these devils, that America is not going to be able to stand for much longer. And that's very spiritual, because there's a lot of signs you can see within that. People fighting against themselves, that high and mighty bird falling and dying swiftly. You know, and it wasn't just one, it was two. You know, double fold, man. You know, yeah, it's a lot that you can just take from that little video in itself. It says, and it isn't, the point really isn't about the birds, man. Okay, it's about Babylon the Great tearing itself. It's about America, Babylon the Great tearing itself apart from the inside and getting taken out by its own system. You know, and the eagles, they didn't kill each other. They were destroyed by something moving on the ground, a symbol of America's own fast-moving downfall. All right, a symbol. Really, look at Trump, of what Trump was doing. It says, I want to grab this. It says, the eagle was Esau's pride, his military, his freedom, his global power. Now it's fighting itself. Democrats versus Republican, rich versus poor, black versus white. It's the prophecy unfolding. And the car, you know, that's just the judgment speeding in. No brakes, no mercy. All right. The eagle's not flying no more. The nation of America is not going to rise again, man. Once the Lord destroys this place, the way he's going to take it out. All right. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is showing signs in the earth for the elect to see. All right. So while the world is looking up in awe, we're looking, you know, the prophets, the brothers, they're looking at it and they're saying, call Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. For the downfall of our enemies is near, and we understand that we got next. Our kingdom is next, man. We got the next world to come. All right, the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So, you know, looking at signs like these in the heavens, we understand that, hey, the Lord is really showing the elect He's with them. All right, when these devils get taken out, the kingdom of heaven is going to be established on earth, and we're going to be in power. We're going to be in rulership. All right, these devils are going to be in servitude to us. And we're seeing this, and the Lord is showing the brothers like, hey, you know, keep going, keep pushing, okay? Because the downfall of our enemies is near. Okay, the end of Esau's world is near. You know, that's a very strong sign, and you can't take it surface value. We said it, you gotta look at it in the spirit, because that was a really heavy token from the Lord. That was a very, very heavy token and very heavy sign. You know, so just wanted to touch up on that really quick, and I'll put the video in the ending and probably the beginning as well. But Yahweh Ratazah, the lesson was edifying. I'd like to give our glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kahakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do indeed teach and work well. And peace and salutations to all who will accept abroad. Until next time, I do say shalom and a Bible ball soon.